What's good, YouTube? This is Sippi King back with a special live video with a special live guest by the name of Rose Quartz. And this video gonna be titled "Why Families Today Are Divided." You know what I mean? Like why today's families are more divided than ever. Like that's a topic that needs to be talked about. It's a big discussion. So I'm trying to get this thing cracking, man. I'm waiting for her to hop on here. But I might start a live too early because she's not on here yet. Unfortunately, let me see something here. I might need to start this thing back over again, but yeah, I'm waiting for her to hop on here. Matter of fact, I need to start all over again. Oh, let me cancel this. Hold on. Your stream will stop immediately. You and your guest will. Okay, I'm gonna stay here. She'll come on in a minute. But yeah, man, as far as my channel, I've been pushing these videos. I've been pushing 4 or 5 videos out a day, and I'm not done, baby. Like I'm finna get it. I'm finna get it like John got it. I'm trying to reach the milestone. You know, it's all about consistency, man. Staying consistent and being productive and doing this every day. Because if you're not doing this every day, you're not going to grow. You're not going to progress. But you have to be consistent in this. You have to be committed to this and determined to do this in order to succeed and be successful. Because if you don't, you won't make it in this profession. You understand me? So I'm gonna stop right there on that note. But like I said, once again, I want her to come on, and we're gonna get this thing cracking. There we go. Here she go. Yeah, there she go, Miss Rose Quartz. I like the fish in the background. I mean, that's a short guy, I guess. Yeah, but let's get this thing cracking, man. Where my viewers at, man? My subscribers, man. I hop on here, man. This gonna be a good discussion. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Sports. Yeah, we're gonna get this thing cracking, man. We're gonna get a real discussion going here. So, I have a special guest. There she is, Rose Quartz. She one of my subscribers too. She actually watched this channel. So it's an honor to have her today on this broadcast. But anyway, I'm gonna begin the conversation, right? Why today's families are more divided than ever, right? And I noticed that in my family, we are divided right now, especially on my mother's side of the family. Which I'm not trying to get too personal, but we're not as close as we used to be. Like my cousins and my uncles. I have an uncle I haven't seen in over 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And he was like one of my closest uncles. And that meant a lot to me. And I asked my mom about him all the time, and my mom don't really know much herself. You know what I mean? But
Say, where you go?
so what's your sports like the tradition thing with the family? Like do you do you type of way about that?
I do. I do feel like you've got a point there. I do feel like families are more divided than ever. And I think there's a couple reasons. Number one, the elephant in the room, probably politics, always
Yeah,
divided. And then
right.
I feel like money is so tight these days. It's I don't know. I really think that has something to do with it too, because inflation and everything. When you're really close with your family, you're feeding extra people sometimes that you maybe wouldn't feed. You're helping people out that you
Yeah.
normally wouldn't have a problem helping. But
Right.
now, like everybody's kind of pulling back. Like
Right.
jobs are scarce, money's tight, politics are raging. So I
Right.
feel like that could be part of it. I'm sure there's
Right.
other things.
Right. Because I kind of see that too. Like in these times, like people within your family, they feel like you calling them to ask them for money or you asking for help. It's not about that. It's about the love, about caring and being concerned.
Right.
Like, like my family personally, like some of my family members, they don't call, check on me sometimes or anything. They see me on social media. They say something sometimes, handful or two of my cousins, but the rest of them they don't really say much. And I feel like that's division. That's like division within self. Division in your family, division in your community, and I feel like that's the main reason we have our problems today. That's the main factor in society. The reason why we have the issues that we have in this world today. You know what I mean? Because like people hate people for no reason. Even your family members might dislike you or jealous of you because you succeed. You might be doing something more positive. You might be doing something more productive.
Right.
The fact that you became successful, you put your work in. You know what I mean? You might went to college or something, got your bachelor's degree or master's degree, and then you have this jealous family member that does don't do that. Like he just sit on his butt or she sit on her butt and look for handouts, but they want to talk about you or be jealous towards you because you got up and made a way for yourself. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I feel like that's one of the main factors that play a part into this issue. When it comes down to families being separated, not communicating with each other. You know, and
Another point too is 2020 put a big divide between families. Like you couldn't
right,
have a birthday party, you couldn't even go to a funeral, you couldn't go say goodbye to a loved one in a hospital.
right,
Maybe people had never experienced that before in their lives. I know I hadn't. And
right,
so now, it gave people like 2 or 3 years to get used to no birthday party or, no visiting so and so in the hospital.
right.
That could have been part of it too. But I also think they've been trying to break down the family unit for decades.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I feel like it's a whole motive behind that. But I'm not speaking. I'm speaking on the code. For certain reasons, but yeah, I know certain things happen at a certain point in time, and everything just took a shift. You know, I mean,
Right.
I seen the shift coming. Matter of fact, I took notice of the shift all the way back since 2000. I'm gonna say 2002.
Right.
But I'm just speaking on it because I took notice of, and I feel like it's just an issue that we all need to address. It needs to be talked about because if people just start coming back together, families start coming back together and uniting, I feel like it'll be the world be a better place.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
yeah, I feel like the world be a better place. It won't be so much hostility. It won't be so much envy, hatred, and so forth. You know, and I feel like certain people, certain places knew this beforehand, so they presented certain things to the table to become a popularity thing. So people got intrigued that, so they feel like if the next person can be this way and act like this, we can do this too. It's just been a trend that's just been ongoing, you know, and basically a generational thing,
Right.
from the last generation to this, well, from the last decade to this decade. So I just feel like it's just a problem. Like it needs to be addressed. It needs to change. It needs to stop, man.
I
But the
feel
closest
like
person,
when we grew up, it was a little different. When we grew up, there was actual family dinner, and we'd sit down and have a family dinner, and then we'd watch TV. Prime time TV. That was the big thing back in the day, and now everybody's got their own screen, their tablet, their computer, their console.
right,
Everybody's divided in that way by screens. And even though we love our viewers and we desperately would love everybody to subscribe and watch us every time, sure. But it does divide people down because unless you're going to sit down with your family and let's all watch Sippy King go live, you know what I mean? It does divide people up, and there's not a lot of discussion after dinner, during dinner, stuff like that. I just feel like things have really changed. The age of multitasking is another thing that I
right,
think about a lot. Like there was a day when they didn't want us to multitask. Now that's all we can do if we want to survive. So
right,
if you're a working mother or something, you've got to figure out how to get dinner on the table, pick up the kids, get the house clean, and you've got to work that job. You know what I mean? Maybe you got a side hustle, you're reselling something online. You know what I mean? Like there's so much going on. When you have a moment to breathe, or let alone a moment to just sit and enjoy your family, like they really don't make it possible anymore. And people
right.
that do have the time for that, they probably wrestle with feeling selfish, like, should I really be spending this time with my family when I have all these things to do? And I
Right.
think the answer is yeah, we should find that time because nurturing your children and spending time and teaching your kids and stuff like that, or just influencing, just being there as the influencer of your family rather than someone on TV, it makes a big difference.
It does. It really do. Because main thing is people, some people make up excuses like I had to work my job and blah blah blah, 12-hour shifts. But that's, see, that's this right here. Like, you can always make time. I don't care if it's two,
Right.
3 hours out. That goes for anybody. That goes for me. To spend time with your child or talk to them on the phone or something, or a little cousin or somebody. Spend like 3 hours, 2 hours out of the day, talk to them and give them, give them enlightenment. Give them the enlightenment that they need, because enlightenment is the most powerful thing. Knowledge is power. Without
Right.
knowledge, you have nothing. So yeah, enlightenment is very important in quality time, because time is precious. Time is not to be wasted. um Time going by fast these days, like clockwork, like 1, 2, 3 seconds, like next
Right.
day. So yeah, time is valuable. Like, you have to spend time with your family members, because it's not promised that you will be here tomorrow. You have to
Right.
treat each and every day. You have to treat each and every day of your life like it's your last day. That's how I treat it personally. So, more definitely, like, I mean, that's why I have an issue with it. That's why I'm talking about, because like, I have family members that recently passed. And I think about it. I said, man, I wish I had that moment to spend with them. That last moment to spend with them, because now it's nothing I can do. You know, so yeah, like, that's important. Time is very important. Family members is important, especially the elderly ones, the ones that up in age. The ones like in their 50s and 60s. You know,
Right.
cause like my mom and dad, like my dad is like pushing his 70s now, and my mom is like her mid 60s. And I personally do my best to talk to my mom and dad like at least 3 times out of the week while I'm out here on this road. You know, because it scares me. You know what I'm saying? If I go a whole week without talking to my mom and dad, then something happen, then I'm gonna feel bad. You know, and
Right.
everybody has a guilty conscience. You just had that thought, and you be like, man, I wish I had took out the time to talk to that family member before they left me or before they left us. You know, and one person in my family, I personally regret. I wish I stayed out here and stuck around with my grandma. I miss my grandma to this day. Like my grandma passed on me. I think about 5 years ago. No, I take it back. Longer than that. Now my mama, she passed away in 2004, and I was in a situation I wasn't there. And when I got that phone call, I was upset and I broke down. My favorite grandmother. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? She helped raise me, and she kept me in the Bible. You understand? And she taught me how to pray and all that stuff. So when I got the news she passed away, I feel bad, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, I shed a tear. It hurt me, you know. And that's why other people need to hear this because you have that special grandmama, that special uncle, that special mama, and they up in age, you know. Today. Like cherish them right now because you never know when that time is coming. You never know when that moment or that hour will approach. And that's
Right.
real. That's real. So yeah, and I know some other YouTube channels they don't talk about this that much. I do. You know, that's why my channel is a widespread, versatile channel. And that's why it become more popular because people are rocking with me because I'm a versatile minded person. I talk about everything, different things. I'm not stuck in one niche, you know.
Right.
I don't stick to like
That, I
like
think that's
these
a good
tourists.
idea. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
Same with me. I try not to stick to a niche at all, and I think that it does push you out to different people that you wouldn't
right,
normally get.
right, right. Because it's like you building an audience. Like the more niches and the more things you talk about and the more videos you drop, you building your audience. You building a multicultural audience, and that's the best way to blow up on your on this platform. That's the best way to blow up. Because I be watching tutorials videos here, and they talk about stick to one niche, you gonna grow. Nah, that's a lie. That's a lie.
I
You
do
know,
think you will
like half
grow faster. I think you'll grow faster in a niche, but I think you'll grow broader without one. It might take longer, but that's my opinion.
right,
I don't have evidence to back it up. But I feel like, let's say you're a show about coffee, and all you're going to talk about is coffee and
right,
how it's made and where you buy it and how you make it and all that. Different creamers, you stick to that, you're going to hit every
right,
coffee person probably uh, everywhere, but you're only
right,
going to hit those people. But if I'm like, hey, I like
right.
coffee, I like tea, I like wine, I like water, I like juice, then you're going to go out to everybody that likes a beverage. And that's how I feel like people should look at it. But the algorithm is
Right.
weird. You gotta understand the algorithm, and you gotta understand that they're gonna always change it. So I feel like
Exactly. That's
always
why.
always be ready to change, and you're good.
Exactly. You gotta change the keywords. You have to change your SEO. The way uh, you know, design your description, your thumbnails, and the fact that you have to um change the file name to the thumbnail. That has a huge effect. I mean,
Right.
a huge effect. Whether your video take off or not. Cause like when I got the thumbnail, I had the file name to it. So the of this type of this live. So this live should do good in numbers. It should do good. I know to do that because I've been watching my tutorials on that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm
This is a
on it.
secret. I hate to squash it. I might squash the live with this little secret, but Canva is owned by Google. So like the people that teach you to make the thumbnails, they're like, go to Canva and use that. Well, then Canva is also owned by Google, which is owned by YouTube. So
Right.
it's a funnel technique for Google. I mean, it makes sense. So if you want to succeed with us, you've got to use our products. And I don't hate them for it. I get what they're doing. It makes sense. Why use it? I use what they say. But
Right.
it is interesting, in my opinion, that there's not a lot of thumbnail generators or, editing
Right.
software, and the main one is owned by YouTube. So I think that's so
Right.
funny.
Right.
Got to play the
Right.
game, though, right?
Right. You gotta play the game to get in the game. That's what they say. You gotta play cards right. Well, better yet, let me say it right. You have to play your cards right in this
Right,
game because
right,
if you don't, you're gonna get left behind.
right, right.
And I refuse to get left behind. I'm not. You know, I'm stepping up my YouTube game. I've been dropping videos every day, 4 or 5 videos. So, and I'm gonna continue to do it. I'm gonna do it for the rest of the week. I'm trying to double down right now as we
Nice.
speak. Everybody, family members that actually do support me. I have like maybe, and about it. But I heard other content creators say there's no family members supporting them, right? And I seen one video where one content creator that actually blew up said when she was building her channel, the family members wasn't even in tune with her, but the moment she blew up and made the money, everybody was calling her phone, texting her,
Of
and
course.
yeah, yeah. So I feel like I feel like the same thing will happen to me, but my whole motto is I can't rock with fake love. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to family, I can't rock with that fake love. You know,
Right.
I mean, my whole thing is if you really love me and you really rocking with me, you gonna rock with me from day one. You gonna rock with me when I'm down before as I'm building up. That's where real love comes from. I mean, family love. You know what I mean? And that's real. That's real spit. I already made up my mind what I'm gonna do the moment I take off and blow up. There's no conversation. If you wasn't there with me from day one, I don't care if you was a family or a friend. I have no answers for you. None. Not at all. Only. Hmm. Hmm.
You're doing something wrong. You're blatantly trying to not succeed,
Right.
or you've got a lot of haters. I don't know, because like it just doesn't make sense. Every channel I see that keeps grinding, keeps doing it, keeps going, at 10 years, they're like hitting the big time. I've got a million plus followers. I've got all these brand deals. I've got this going on, that going on. I'm making 7 figures. And we can't all do that, but I feel like if you keep that grind on, you keep consistency, you keep going, you keep trying new things, adapt when the algorithm changes, adapt when they change policies. I think that's the trick. And I just feel like if we all keep doing that, it's great. And you brought up like family and stuff like that. And you said you have some that support you here, and that's amazing. I personally, I have my immediate family, right? And that's it. I don't really tell everybody else. Now, I had gone on my Instagram before and posted it in the stories or posted it as a post, like my thumbnail or whatever. So the information's there. If anybody from that area wanted to follow
Right.
me, they could and they should have, right? And if they didn't, I feel the same
Right.
as you. 10 years from now, don't be calling me for something. Don't be calling me for free Nikes because Nike is got to deal with me, not you. you know? So
Right.
I just feel like,
Right.
everybody wants to jump on that train once it's rolling. But guess what? Like I had to
Right.
push this train to get it going.
Right.
It's
Facts.
fun.
Facts. But yeah, I just feel some type of way about that because like even with friends, like best friends or so-called associates that you've been friends with for years, and like in my eyes, I feel like those are the worst ones because like When they see you be productive and be successful, they'll turn against you. I'm talking about 85 to 90% of the time they'll turn against you. You know what I mean? In some cases, you don't have to be as successful, like big successful, and they'll still turn against you. Like in my eyes, like I feel like loyalty is like the standards of loyalty, loyalty, like loss. You know what I mean? Because like it's like people love you for for what you got, what you possess. You know what I
Right.
mean? Car, money, um, look, clothes. You know, you name it. You know, the heart. And I feel like people lost and miss and don't know the real definition of love. Like what love really comes from inside. You know what I mean? Because like love means more than the actual word that it says. Loyalty means more than the word loyalty. People don't understand that. And like when you talk about your heart, love is part of your mind. Love is a part of your opinion. When you look at a person or listen to a person or your interpretation of a person, all that is love. You know, and love also means a symbolism of appreciation. Appreciation of a person being in your life for the right reasons. That
Right.
includes family, friends, relationships, you name it, marriage, you name it. Real love comes from sincere, truly caring and adoring that person. Because if you don't appreciate or adore that person, you don't love that person. You know what I mean? And
Right.
because you have family members that walk up to you and be like, "I love you, cuz. I love you, bro. I love you, nephew. I love you, aunt." And yeah, it's easy for anybody to say that, but the question mark is, do you really do? You know what I mean? Do you really do? Because love is caring about my well being. I mean, my whole thing is if you're not caring about my well being, just like I'm caring about your well being, how in the world can you love me? That's my whole thought process about it. You know, and
Right.
that's why I'm not so quick to listen. It's hard for to make me be a believer. I have to see action. Action speak louder than words to me. Because if I see that you're not showing me that, when you tell me that, I'm not gonna believe that. You know? And I have had members that walk up to me and be like, I love you, cuz. I love you, man. Give me a hug. And then 2 days later, I don't hear from you. I don't get a phone call from you or nothing. I don't get a text message from you or nothing. I may not hear from you for about 3 or 4 more months. That's not love, you know. It's not. It's funny to me though, but hey, I guess it's all part of life. It's all part of the process. You know, life. It means like life. You learn. You know, life is a school to me. It's like a school to me. It's like a lesson. You know, at one age you learn one subject. You get to the next age, you learn a whole different subject, and you get older, you learn 3 4 more subjects.
Right.
You know, which is family. All that goes into the same old circle.
Well, the difference, I think, regarding family love versus romantic love, the biggest difference is family love should be more unconditional.
Right.
Like, no matter how I show my ass, no matter how I screw up my life, no matter how I, have issues with this or that, You should still love me if you're family. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? You might not feel the same way. You might think, she's kind of losing it, or whatever, but like you still love that person. You still invite them to Thanksgiving. You still get them a Christmas gift or whatever. You still support them when they need support. And the other
Exactly.
side of it in a romantic love is a lot of the times it's conditional love. Like, well,
Right.
if you don't do A, B, and C, I'm going to pull my love out of this equation. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that as long as
Right.
you're straight up with it, because I think
Exactly.
a lot of people do feel that when they get in a relationship, it's going to be like unconditional love. And
Right.
that's not really the case. Like
Not,
my
not
son, my son, for example, I like to use him for an example. Now he is one that watches my channel. So he's working tonight, so he's not watching. But he in the past, he's stolen my car. He's stolen money from me. He's done some things that I felt like I don't know if I can forgive this. But of
right.
course, he's my son, and given a little time, I'm like, okay, I forgive him, and God tells you to forgive everybody and like let it go, let him be the judge and you let it go and turn the other cheek. And it's difficult when it's not someone that's your family, right?
Right.
So I can imagine during, the 2020 times when you're in the hospital and you're down and out and things are awful, but your family doesn't come visit you. I mean, that had to hurt a lot of hearts.
Oh, most definitely. Most
It had.
definitely. A whole lot of
How do
people
you
probably
not how do you not hold animosity for that?
exactly. That's really deep, because that's a symbolism showing you that they don't really care. You know what I mean? Because they're not caring for your best interest. If they're not coming to see you at your worst time,
Right.
sick health. That's the number one thing that should count. You know, because for real, like I was in a situation my time myself. It was 2019, right before 2020. I was actually shot. I was shot. Almost died in the hospital. The bullet it came from a 380. The bullet barely missed my main artery, and my
Wow.
legs by this much a tip of a finger.
Wow.
And guess who the only person that came to the freaking hospital to see me? My brother. My
Good, good.
brother. But the people that was at the birthday party where I was at, I happened to be at his birthday party when this incident happened. All those people that was there, God, sister, everybody else, people from around the neighborhood, people from Mississippi, like my cousins, uncles, everybody. Nobody showed up at the hospital.
Wow.
Nobody drove. Nobody could get in their freaking vehicle and drive 3 hours to Georgia to come see me at the hospital. That alone told me a lot.
Yeah.
See, that's the main reason why I'm the way I am. That's why every time you see me, I'm on a video. Every time you talk to me, anybody, guess what? I'm by myself. I'm by myself. I'm rocking solo because I know in this world, love is rare. Real is rare. Real is not consistent in this world anymore because
Yeah.
we live in a time where everybody feels like real. I mean, fake is real. Real is fake. Bullcrap. No, no. It's the opposite. Y'all have it all backwards. Y'all have it all wrong. You know? So therefore I have to be this way. Cause I recently had a subscriber that said something to me on a live video. It was like 2 live videos back. And I said something to this extent. I like to rock by myself. I choose to rock by myself. And that subscriber said, you need to start mingling with people. You would go crazy. I said, no. If I start mingling with people, I will go crazy. You know what I mean? Because I might mess around and mingle with the wrong person.
Right.
I might mess around and mingle with a maniac. You know, for real.
Right.
I don't want no problems. And see, and then another thing I'm gonna explain. This is the main reason why I choose this profession, this job that I have. I don't care. I will drive this van and keep this career wheels fall off until I get old if this town don't blow up. I don't care. I am not going to be working around 10, 20, 30 people with mixed personalities,
Right.
evil personalities. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but I can't do a restaurant warehouse working around 30, 40 people with mixed spirits, mixed
Right.
personalities. You know what I mean? Because it just, I hate to say this, it shouldn't be like this, but you just can't be around a million people because we living in the last days. Like, you have too much evil going on out here. You have too much of this and too much of that. And that's why some people out here that they actually do DoorDash. They don't even work at no job. You have some people that have 18 wheelers. They don't work at a job. You have some people that do expediting like me. They don't work at a job. And I prefer to do this because it keeps me away from people. It keeps me away from dangers and controversy, even though it's dangerous everywhere you go. But I feel like I'm more safer and I feel more peace being in the position where I'm in. I'm comfortable with
Right.
what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Because I recently had another subscriber that made a comment a couple live videos back. She gonna tell me, why don't you drive local? I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I'm sorry. No.
You know what I started doing? To interrupt, I'm sorry, but I started
Right,
doing some live videos to my comments like that. You might try
right,
that. But I'll take a picture of the reply and just kind of cut it off. And then I take another picture so it's like across the middle and it fits in the screen.
right,
Do like a green screen
right,
and just be like, oh, I had this viewer ask this question. I wanted to answer it with a video because I was
right,
actually in a live yesterday with Dr. Left Hand Thread, and we were talking about how we all thought 3 minute shorts was going to blow up, but it
right,
did nothing. It did nothing, So that's
right.
my way of using it, I guess. And you might try that because I think with your style of video, that would go really well.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, because I was trying shorts for a minute, but my shorts don't seem to not get any more than 500, 600 views. So I
That's
kind of
actually pretty
feel,
average. That's actually pretty average. Don't feel like, you
right,
know what I mean? It used to be when you did a short, they would blow up like crazy and just randomly they would blow up. But now it seems like, I don't know, it's like they're looking for a certain checklist,
right,
if that makes sense. And so you got to check all the boxes.
right.
Uh, but I wouldn't give
Oh,
it up. I think it helps you get subscribers and it helps actually get your video out into a different realm of people that wouldn't normally watch. So
right,
maybe do like what I did today was a reply to this girl. I did a video recently and it was I quit smoking MJ and for 30 days and this is what happened. And so I had a person on there ask, "Well, how long did you smoke before that?" And I was like, "That's a great question. I didn't even think to talk about it in the video."
right,
I just
right,
didn't even think to talk about it. I feel like anybody watching this channel knows I probably smoke every day. So I just I didn't
right.
think to do that. So I did a reply video to her saying, "Hey, great question." Now, when you do a short at the bottom, it'll let you link a related video.
Oh,
So
I
it
didn't
helps
know that.
push. Yeah, it helps push those longer form videos.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to look at. Yeah, right,
They go through their
right.
decipher: is this person on my team or is this person not on my team?
Facts, facts, facts.
Even when you're the boss,
Yeah,
it can be a losing battle. So I mean, sometimes I think about myself. I'd love to just be the dishwasher or just do DoorDash or something, you know? So that's
Right,
why I started this
right,
channel. Like, this channel is for me to retire with. Like, I'm starting now, and in 10 years, I'm going to be at retirement age. And I'm
right.
not going to want to be running around on my feet all day. But, you know, if I'm in one of those little rascal scooters, I can I can be on content creating.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
my idea, but
Yeah. But this matter of fact, YouTube is like a 401k. Honestly, you know,
it can
it,
be.
yeah, it's a 401k. That's why I'm building my channel right now. Like I'm trying to set myself up for to be set for life, and it's paying dividends so far. I'm getting. I feel like I'm one video away. Honestly, one
Oh
video.
yeah. I feel like we all are, right? We're all one video away.
Yeah.
And just be careful because you never know what the video is going to be. That's what my fear is. Like let's say I just put one out there and my hair's a wreck and I'm mad and or something, like I'm not in a good mood. That's going to be the one that goes viral, not the one I worked hard on and marketed properly. You know, it's always going
Right.
to be the video you don't expect.
Exactly. Exactly. Because I know I have like 423 videos. Well, this one gonna make 424. So it could be any number after this one.
It's a lucky number, 424, man.
Yeah, I
That's a
know. That's
lucky
why
number.
I said. I know. That's why I said.
Now you can take this, you can cut this into short clips. You do the clips and then you can edit it, turn it
Right.
into a short. And then you just link this whole live in the bottom. And then so if they like that clip, they can go, "Oh, I want to watch more." And they click and watch the whole thing.
Right.
So
That's
everything
a good
helps. It's so weird to me how they have the watch hours. Why do they make it so confusing?
I don't know. I mean, because I was confused with the watch hours when I first started YouTube. I used to think you have to just get 4,000, but I found
Right.
out it's 3,000 to become a part of the partnership program,
Yeah.
and 4,000 to get watch ads. So I have both now, so I'm in the game.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. I'm not
so I'm
there
in
yet.
the game.
I'm trying to get there, but I'm
Uh,
getting there steady. Slow and steady wins the race, right?
yeah, you gonna get there. Well, we're
I'll
gonna
get there.
we're gonna
I'm not in
get
a hurry.
you there. Yeah,
Not in a hurry.
you gonna
And
you,
anybody watching your channel want to subscribe to me, I would love that. Come subscribe. It might not be your
right.
cup of tea, but come check it out. I do a lot of different stuff: classic cars, trucks. I do cooking. I like do everything. I talk about work, family. I do vlogs from work. I mean, you just don't know what I'm going to be doing, so that's part of the fun. I'm doing
Yeah,
interviews now. Like, I just don't even know. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I don't know, and that's what
right,
I want. I want it to be ever evolving, ever changing. I want every viewer to find some value in it somewhere, you know. But maybe they won't love every video, but they'll love a lot of them. And so,
right.
you know, and I'm out there. Or I don't know about you, but I'm also on Instagram, same name.
Yeah.
So if anybody want to follow me over
Uh,
there,
I'm on TikTok and Facebook, but I'm not. I mean, I'm on Instagram, but I'm on there, actively. I'm more TikTok and Facebook. You know,
I'm
trying to
on
build my.
X too. I used to have enough followers to go live on X, but then I lost a bunch of followers.
Yeah, yeah.
I pissed
It
them off
happened.
somehow.
It happened.
It
Then
does.
another thing, people will unfollow you because they disagree with something that you believe in or your opinion or something, and
Right.
I call that a disloyal follower, and
Right. Oh, good one.
it,
Yeah.
it's plenty of them out there. Oh my goodness.
Hey, haters
I,
are viewers too. I'm down. If people want to come hate on me, that's cool. I can handle it. I didn't start being a content creator because I had thin skin. I definitely jumped on here because I'm in the I don't give any more fucks. You know, that's
yeah.
where I'm at. I don't give any more fucks. I don't care. I'm like, I'm here to speak my mind, do what I want, and retire with, you know, a job that I enjoy. That's
Exactly.
really my goal.
Me too, cause I enjoy recording videos. Like I love it. I became addicted to
Yeah,
it. You
and
know.
I kind of like editing too. I never thought I would. I kind of enjoy it.
I heard people say it's fun editing a video. I heard many people say that. But I never edit no video. I just straight up record it and try to be very
I
careful
love
of
that about
how,
your videos. I love
you
that
know.
about your videos. You're not the only one I watch like that. I really like when people do no edits because it feels more genuine, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I edit mine so much, but I kind of like to add in this like odd humor in a way. And I think that's why
Right.
I
Right.
really enjoy like adding in weird stuff popping up. And I don't know. I just enjoy that.
Right.
So it's
Yeah,
to the,
I'm more.
to the
I'm
individual.
more. I'm more of a natural person. I like to keep everything original. I don't like to change up anything. That's just me. Like I always
Nothing
been
wrong
like
with
that.
that.
Yeah, I'm an original person, man. You know, all natural. And cause like
You
people,
have a lot of good stuff. So I love that I've seen some of my people on here subscribe to you. And I love
yeah,
that because your stuff, like, I don't even know how you got in my algorithm, but after I watched your live and we chatted a little bit, I went to your
yeah,
channel and I realized, like, I'm like, we have so much in common. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, we had so many things in common. And I watched some of your videos and I'm like, hell yeah. Like, I'm right with you, you know? And I
yeah.
always comment, like, if I'm like, feel like that, I always put a comment in because I just feel like, that's my 2 cents in your wishing well, right?
Right,
Because a comment
right.
helps push it out to the algorithm. So anybody watching and viewing, you guys, when you're watching people comment, hit the like, help them out. Like we don't get a lot of praise for this. And when you do get monetized on YouTube, I'm not yet, but I've heard you don't make a ton of money. So it's you know what I mean? It's still a side hustle that doesn't really pay, you
Nah,
know?
now, cause I'm barely making a little chump change right now. I'm not.
Right. Like I've heard people say you could barely buy a cup of coffee a day. Like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's why I busted my tail. I'm trying to drop all the videos I can produce, so that I can generate into something more bigger. That's my
Have
whole
you ever
motive.
have you ever looked up Master of Earth? Maybe I mentioned that last time I spoke with you. He's
I
one of
didn't
my
look it up.
favorites. Like I don't even know
Yeah,
if anybody knows if he's alive anymore, but like 10 years ago, he hit the scene and he just did I don't know how many videos, but he just did a small amount of videos and they were just interesting stuff like um, how to go barefoot and do earthing, like with your feet in the dirt. And then
right.
sun gazing. He did a video about sun gazing and all kinds of videos along those lines of how to kind of boost your spirituality and your overall like aura and stuff like that. And I loved him. And I used to comment on like every video and I loved him. And now here we are like 10 years later. I mean, he's got so many followers and nobody's heard from him. He's got a Facebook
Wow.
group that I joined because I was like, I love this guy. Like, is he alive? Like, he used to comment back and he used to post more videos, but it kind of dropped off before
Right.
2020. And nobody really knows what happened to him. But I think about it all the time. I'm like, who cares? Because his revenue is just building. He never has to do another video again. He never has
No,
to. He did his
yeah.
core videos and they're out there and they gain views every single day. I guarantee it. He might not
Wow.
even be alive. It might be a family member of his gaining that money. Who knows? But
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
if you
It
hit the
happened.
right subjects, you're set.
Cutthroat. Oh, with. Yep. And that's what I tried my best to do. I tried to hit it right on the nail because
Yeah.
I try my best not to miss. I know sometimes I miss, but half the time I do hit it dead on the nail. It's just the algorithm. That's all. Like I'm gonna have to wait till the algorithms change back over again. I'm assuming it might
Right.
change again, maybe before the summer because we're in March
See,
now.
they
So
say it already has changed. I'll add you to this group that I'm in on Facebook. And so anyway, I remember seeing a post recently where they said, have you had a drop in views? I have. And there was a bunch of people saying, I have. And I
yeah,
said, I haven't. Mine are up. And so I don't know what the difference is, but maybe it's working in the favor of smaller YouTubers again.
right, yeah.
Who knows?
It it kind of I'm gonna say kind of because my number's not all the way up there yet. Kind of getting there.
You've
Kind of
got
getting
a
there.
lot of good evergreen videos. They call it the evergreen effect, but like for example, I watched another one last night about manipulation, or maybe it was this morning, and
Yeah,
I left a comment. But I feel like when you do videos like that people might search for, that's
yeah,
key, right? You know,
exactly.
if you do a video and you're like coffee, okay, coffee's broad, but if you're like, oh, Brazilian coffee, then you're getting smaller, right? So if you do a video about manipulation,
Mm-hmm.
great. And if you get decent
Right.
views on that, okay, capitalize on that. Double down. Be like relationship manipulation, family manipulation, workplace
Exactly.
manipulation. See
Exactly.
what I'm saying? And then
Exactly.
put it in a playlist. Then they're stuck in your
Exactly.
little playlist. That's how you
Hey,
got to do it.
I'm thankful that you said that because that's a great,
Oh,
tremendous idea.
yeah.
I'm gonna take that
Yeah.
idea and run with it.
Take it. Take it. It is yours. Like, I think that's the way to do it. I really do. Because, I mean, I love your manipulation videos because you're right. You're like, everybody in the world wants to manipulate you. And it's true. Where do you go where it's
Yeah,
not like that? And then we get back to that family thing. You're only going to get unconditional love from your family. And you may be only going to get that from your mom.
exactly. Because like they say, your mom is the main person that love you more than anybody on this
Right.
earth. Yep.
Right.
And I know mine do. I know mine do. Because I hope that's why I hope my mom be here till she's 150 years old. I don't care.
Right.
She
Right.
stay alive. She needs to stay here because she's like my motivation force. You know, she the one that motivates me with my channel. She motivates me with my book. You know, she actually has a copy of my book and read it. So that means a lot to
Wow.
me. So like, not too many people going to do that. Like, family members not going to do that. They're not going to be in tune with you like that. You know what I mean? But your mom will be. Your mama,
Right.
yes. And like they say, your mama love you more than your daddy, and that's true.
Yes.
That's true. Your mama gonna love you more than anybody. I don't care if it's governor, your daddy, your uncles, whoever. Your mama love you the most because when your mama leave it'll take everything out. And I never experienced that. I don't know how that feel, but I heard stories from people that lost their mamas. They
Right.
came to me and explained to me how they feel. You know what I mean? So I don't know how they feel. I don't want to know how that feels. No time soon.
Right.
Absolutely not. No
Feel
way.
as a mother, I can add this to it, but there's a different way you feel about your children than anybody else in the world. And I think
Mm-hmm.
part of it is because they're born from your body, right? So it's like a
Fact.
body part. It's like an extension of you, Like if I
Fact.
lost my arm today, I would always miss it. And I would honestly rather lose both arms and both legs than one child. And
Right.
I would sacrifice anything. My child's like, I need a heart and there's no match in the world. I would gladly give him mine, right? And I think that's the difference. Like,
Yeah.
mother always feels like that because she carried you. She carried you.
Exactly.
You grew from her blood. You grew from her plasma. Everything in her body was taken to form you. And yes, the dad
Exactly.
dad does donate a little, but it's not the same. It's like it's a great donation, sure, but it's not the same as what a mother does for the child. And so that is why I really think, like, if they break down that part, the mother and the child bond, which they do all the time, they try to push formula. No judgment if you got to use formula, but the breastfeeding, it keeps that
I feel.
bond, and then daycare, they push that daycare that breaks that bond, and then, okay, nobody wants to home anymore. It breaks that bond. So I just feel like all these things that are pushed, they kind of seem to be connected to the government, but who am
Right.
I?
Right. Well, you never know. Never
I
know.
just feel like we need to strengthen that bond, that mother bond. And it wouldn't
Right.
be bad to strengthen the father bond too, but part of that comes from the family unit. When the mother and the father are connected, or they live together, or they're married, whatever, um either way, that connection and him being in the home, it adds another pillar of strength to the home and to
Right.
the children. And the children say, "Oh, well, mother loves me unconditionally, but daddy protects us, from bears or whatever, like
Right.
T-Rex, I don't know."
He more
So,
like the shield. He's more like the shield. The
yes,
father.
he's a
Mm-hmm.
shield. And also, I honestly, I just watched this thing about a woman just cutting down men about, you're not a provider unless you actually provide enough for two people. And she wasn't wrong. But at the same time, I was kind of like, I hate how she's so man hating right now because, I mean, I have two baby daddies that drive me up the wall. But I really try not to be a man hater. Like, I don't want to do that. I'm raising two boys. And so it's
Right.
detrimental, in my opinion, to be a man hater. But I can see where women get on that trip, where they're like, he doesn't do nothing for me, blah, blah.
Right. Right. Right.
The home. You know what I'm saying? So I have a good testing ground for that. Neither one's in the home or was after the child was 1 year old.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Like they both grew up with different types of fathers, and that's fine. But I definitely see the difference when the dad is involved. So my suggestion, anybody out there, any males listening, is that if you go through with it and you have a child, you've got to do that due diligence for that child and just at least be available. Even if you're not physically available, call them on the phone, talk to
I
them,
got
check in with them. Like you were saying, a family member checks in and cares, and you show that you care. Don't just say you care, show that you care. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you have to buy presents or throw money at it. Just be there so they know and they feel that confidence. My dad has my back.
exactly. You said that perfectly. You could. I don't know anybody else in the world that could say that any better. You know what I mean? You said it the best way any woman can say it. Oh my goodness.
And if I hadn't had both to look at, I might not have that same opinion. So God gives you everything that you need, right? And so God gave me
Right.
the vision of this one kind of dad and that kind of dad. So now I know the difference, but I do see that. And I see that any kid that grows up with less of a dad than like at least 50% parenting, they're at a they're at a disadvantage. It's detrimental to the child. You
It is.
need to be there for them, even if you can't physically or monetarily be there. You need to be like, "Hey, son, how'd your day go?"
Exactly.
That's it. That's even it. You don't even have to like get into anything deep. Just let them know that you give a shit. And
Exactly.
I think it just makes so much difference, and we'd have such a different society if we focused on that. But they've been breaking down the family unit as long as I can remember.
Yeah, for
I don't.
years, for decades. Yep, generations. It's a generational thing. I say the past 2, 3 generations, it has been that cycle where they break up the family home, keep the fathers away from the kids, but it's a strategy thing they utilize by instilling this system where if the father be in the house living with the mama and not married, then the mama can't be on that housing program,
Right.
if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah,
Right.
that's like a strategy, and that been going on for like decades.
Well, I don't
So
understand why they can't work with it, right? Okay, so
right,
let's say you're on that housing program, right? And I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been on it. So you're on that and you have inspections. And they're going to come in and inspect you. I don't know if it's seasonally, I can't remember. Every 6 months, every
I
four
think
months, something like that.
once.
They come in and they check. And they're not just looking to see if, you got baby daddy work boots under the bed. They're also checking to see that, your lighting fixtures work and your hot water works and stuff. So there is some benefit to it. But you're
Right.
right. Like if you've got a baby daddy that's kind of in the picture, but they're not fully in the picture and they can't stay with you because of that housing contract, well, why can't they work with these people, these families, and be like, hey, we'll let baby daddy come in, we'll let him come in, and we'll just, have him contribute this much to be on the bill. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Give him a little cheap rent too. You're
Right.
raising a family.
Exactly. And that
What's the
and
big deal? So if you
and
give that program, let's even say like $100, $200 more because you got baby daddy in the house. Why doesn't he?
right.
Maybe he could sign a contract and say for 200, yeah, I'm going to be here, because that's just going to raise better kids. So in my
Is
opinion, in the end, there'd be less people on that program.
exactly. Exactly. And then it'll help the economy too. For real.
Yes,
Like, yeah,
yes,
and that's why the economy been jacked up for the last past couple of decades because of those type of situations. You know, they make it hard for people on purpose. Basically,
I agree. I think they
it,
do too. And there's agenda. There's agenda with these programs, right? A lot of these programs that are for, people that don't have as much money, they tend to be political. And people don't
right,
really realize that. But they're pushed by certain sides and certain politicians, and they're supported by certain ones, right? So,
right,
not to turn everything political, but it really is. It really is. And if you don't push family dynamic and if you don't support a family household, then you're against it. So
exactly.
you're against it. So in my opinion,
Yup,
if Section 8 was a thing that people, wanted you to get off of, wanted you to succeed with, well then there should be stipulation. This is my son's father. He's, he's fallen on hard times. Can I petition for him to stay here? And then, he's in charge of his bill.
right,
Don't mix it up. Let her stay for what she's staying for. That's her deal. But maybe he contributes 200 a month and it goes into the plan
exactly,
instead of coming off the state and everybody paying taxes, right? Let's think
right,
about that. Amazing. And what baby daddy wouldn't love that deal? Because guess what? We were talking about this in the last live. Rent is through the
right.
roof.
It
Nobody
is
can even afford to live by themselves anymore
no,
unless you live in a van. Like there's the only way you can live by yourself is in a van, a car, RV, a camper. That's the only way you can afford it, and that's hard too.
yep, that's hard.
Something
It's
has to
hard.
give. Something
Yeah,
has to give. We're not going to pretend that, these moms are sitting there with all these kids and working because they make you work now. So, and you're working and you got all these kids and, you got daycare and this and that. A lot of places you can't get no government subsidy for the daycare. They want like $400 a week. It's
that's a
insane.
lot.
The amount of
That's
money you got to have too much money. It's like to a point we need to take like a financial test to have a child to be honestly real. Like how else do you survive? It's ridiculous. We need to give
yeah,
some way, some leeway to allow these
right,
families to be together without being totally screwed monetarily.
exactly. And that's part of the problem right there too. That's why the world jacked up now. That's another reason why the world's messed up, going through its phase right now financially. That's why people are homeless out here. I've seen people
Yeah.
in the city on the sidewalk by the interstate on the exit holding a cardboard box sign. I mean, it's crazy. This
Oh yeah,
this
where
is
I live, the homeless population is huge. They even created camps. They have their own camps they create. And it's
right.
massive. There's so many homeless. Oh, I'm in a sanctuary city. I don't know if that matters, but it seemed to
Yeah,
once they gave us that status of sanctuary city, seems to have gone through the roof. Because we always had a few homeless, but now it's
right.
like ridiculous. Like there's no way around it. We have an epidemic here.
Yeah, it's everywhere now. Atlanta worse. Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia, because I live in Georgia, so up in Atlanta, it's terrible up there.
I
I
love
mean,
Atlanta, and that's the thing. So when's the last time I went there? I went there in 2006, I think was the last, maybe a little later. 2008,
yeah.
maybe. I went to Atlanta. No, it was 2012. 2012 was the last time I went to Atlanta. I went to Dragon Con. It was awesome. It was like this big nerd
Yeah.
fest. But I noticed one thing. They'd let you drink alcohol in the street, but there was no one selling water and there was nowhere to go to the bathroom. So guess what
Oh
happens
my.
then? People be peeing on the street, they get a fine. That was crazy. Just like when I went to Savannah for St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day. And that was quite a
Right.
while back. I can't remember when 2014 or something, like 2015 I went. And that was the same thing. It took less time to get in an Uber and drive back to the Airbnb than it did to stand in line at a porta potty in Savannah in the streets. And so people were peeing on the street. Well, then they pop you with $1,000 fine. So the government wins, right? But all we
Yeah.
wanted to do was use a bathroom, right? It's
Right.
just crazy.
Right. That's crazy
Like these
right there.
moms,
Wow.
these moms are on
That's
Section 8. All they want to do is raise their kids. They just don't want to be homeless and they want to raise their kids.
right.
When I was on it, let me tell you, this was 2000. Oh crap, it was so long ago. 2014, I was on it. And I wasn't on it long, but at the time I was on it, there was a 3-year waiting list. Now it's more like
Wow.
5.
Woo. 3 years, a long, too long to be waiting.
I
That's too long.
waited. I waited. It was not easy. I did some
Man.
shady shit. I'm not gonna lie, but what are you gonna do when you're raising kids?
Right.
What are you
Right.
gonna do? You're gonna raise those kids, and guess what? There's a lot of moms being put in those situations they shouldn't be in, right?
Exactly. Exactly. It's crazy out here. I tell you. It's a cold world.
It is.
Ice
It
cold
really
world.
is. Now, had we had an ability to get up that list quicker and maybe allow a baby daddy allowance on there, like he pays the state his own part or they kick him out, whatever. Let the state be his landlord. If I had that deal, there's a lot of things I wouldn't have to do. And I
Exactly.
may never talk about those things I had to do. I may never. I might do a video though. But you know what I mean?
Ah. No,
I,
but you only human. Everybody had a past. Everybody went through something. Everybody did something. And we all
oh
did. I
yeah.
did. I
Oh yeah. And
mean,
that's the thing. And especially if you're trying to make it, you're trying to survive, you might be put up against a wall that you didn't think you'd be put up against. And the question is, what are you going to do?
exactly.
I had to think
Exactly.
outside the box. And that's what I say all the
Right.
time. Sometimes I had to think outside the box.
Yeah.
You either a
And
thinker or
sometimes
you're not.
Sometimes that's the only way. That's the only way to survive. Is to think outside the box,
Right.
especially when you don't have family that's supportive of you. You have to think outside the box.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's that's normal. Yup. But even I had to at one time. I had to think outside the box and make moves, maneuver a certain way because I didn't have family to support me, so I had to go about things different. So, but it's all part of life. It's all good because we go through those steps we want to be at, where we won't have to turn back and look
Right.
back. So it, it happens.
You live and you
I
learn.
mean, me being me, I don't, yeah, like me being me, I don't even look down on nobody because I feel like everybody had a past.
It's
Everybody
true.
did something. Everybody been through something. You know, and for the people who judge you or people who may judge me, who is them to judge me or you? You know what I mean? Like God say, if you judge, you will be judged,
Right.
right?
Right.
So
There's
me,
a Bible verse,
I
and
don't.
it's something I love that Bible verse. I don't know it word for word, but every Bible's different. That drives me crazy too. But so the log in your brother's eye. You know what I'm talking about? That one where it's like, how can you judge your brother? You know what I mean? When you know you don't want him to judge you. So you know what I mean? Like, don't judge other people. Just don't. And like, it's taken me a lot of my life to learn that. There was a large part of my
Right.
life where I was kind of like, oh, that person, this person, whatever. I'm better than
Right.
them. But here's the thing: is in
Right.
the end, we're all the same.
Exactly.
We're all
We're
the
all
same.
equal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
When you're young, you're a baby. You need someone to feed you and diaper you and take care of you. Same thing when you're old.
Right. Same thing. Yep.
We're
Yep.
not
Because
all
right.
going to be able-bodied and able-minded,
Yeah.
until the end. So it's like you can't be judging. You can't be like that. Or,
Exactly.
God has this funny way, like I always say this, like God loves irony. So
Exactly.
you don't want to be that judgy
Yep.
person. You want to learn how to get out of that, because if you're judgmental, then you're probably going to be thrust into a place with judgmental people. And that's always how I think about
Exactly. And I do not want to be in that place. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm trying to avoid that place at all
it.
costs. I,
Right.
I'm not sit, I'm not gonna sit here and say and make it seem like I'm all perfect and all fine and dandy when I'm not. But I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. But you know, at least I'm past that stage. You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to go down. I'm not. So yeah, that's why I'm the way I am. Like I said, I try to be fair to everybody, and the way I look at everybody is equal. I
Right.
believe in equality. I believe in equality for real. Like I feel like everybody is equal. The only reason why people come bring up this word saying unequal or equal is because you have people in the world that's in position that created that thought process that everybody not equal. It's the
Right.
people created created money, created these different classes of people, rich people, high class, middle class, low class. Like I feel like there ain't no such thing as no high class, middle class, and low class. We're all the same regardless. The only
I
thing
feel
that differs everybody is the fact some people possess more money than others.
right.
It's just a
But
paper. That's the only thing.
it is paper. And listen to this. I feel like money is more like water. It's
It is.
fluid, and it can
Yeah.
flow away from you and it can flow into you. And it's all about
Fact.
your relationship with it. And so if you have an issue with money, the money's going to have an issue with you. And if
Exactly.
you know what I mean, if you're not evil with money, I feel like you're probably going to get more coming to you. But then, there you flip it, and there's some evil people got a lot of money coming to them. But I
Yeah.
think there's a way. This all makes up for itself some way somehow. There's
Exactly.
no way evil people can just run off with all this money and nothing happens to them. I know something does. I know it does eventually. But I grew up
Exactly.
in such a way where we had plenty of money, and then all of a sudden we had none, and then we had more
Right.
money, and then we had none. And it's
Right.
kind of been like that my whole life. So I've always felt like money is fluid. It's like a river. And sometimes that river will go low and the water gets low. And then sometimes the
Exactly.
river is high and the water's coming over the banks. And it's just all about what
Right.
you do with it. You just got to
Right.
be able to balance it. And I don't think we're all going to be rich people, but I don't think we're all going to be poor people either. And I think if, your
No.
luck changes or your money changes, go with the flow. Don't
Exactly.
judge
But
others.
check this
Don't
out.
be
But check this
stingy.
out. You, yeah. But check this out. You can be the brokest person in the world, but still be rich. Rich in
True.
mind, rich in
Very
spirit.
true.
You know
Very
what I'm
true.
saying? Yeah, rich in spirit, rich in mind. Be the
Yes.
brokest person in the world. It's like that's. I feel like that's the most valuable asset to have is being rich in mind and spirit. That's the most
Right.
richest aspect to possess. Because see, that's why I possess. I'm more rich in spirit and mind. You know what I mean? I ain't saying I'm broke or nothing like that, but at the same time, um, I'm rich in mind and spirit because like the way I look at life comes from my mind and spirit. It comes from all this, from my temple. You
Right.
know what I mean? So meaning that I don't look at other people as being less than me. I don't do that. I can't do that. That's
Yeah,
not
I look at people as just being in a different place of life. That's it.
me.
Like, I mean, I've been in places where I had no money and I'm looking at hubcaps like, upon them,
Like,
you know?
yeah,
But, then I've been in places where I had a lot of money and I'm
right,
like, let me let me pay for this person. And
right,
you know what I mean? So I feel like I try to give back where it's appropriate. And, like that's why I didn't stay in that down low place for too long when
right.
I did. Because God knows in my heart, I have probably too much generosity. And so, if I did make it big on YouTube, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to be like Mr. Beast, but at the same time, I'd love to do a contest and help out a single mom or do a
Yeah,
contest to donate something to a school or you know what I mean? Like stuff like
yeah,
that where some of the money goes to good things so that it keeps rolling like that. Because I feel like if your money gets stagnant and you don't tithe anything, you don't have to go to
right.
church, but if you're not tithing in a matter where you're sharing the wealth, then it
Exactly.
dry up.
Exactly. I was thinking the same exact thing. I was thinking the same thing. I said if I ever blow up and become even close, halfway close to Mr. B, I'll donate something to a school, an elementary school.
Yeah.
I'll do something. Or I'll start up a food drive or
Or a
something.
scholarship fund or something, yeah. A
Right.
food drive's a good
Right.
one, I like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, like something, so you could give back, like so my youngest son's on the spectrum, and I'm always looking into places that like Publix, for example. You probably have them in Georgia, but Publix is very nice company where they're huge. They're too big for their britches. They make too much money, but they hire autistic people in. And I've looked into the programs and they're very, very thorough about it. Cause I was like, do your autistic workers get the same raises and same stock
Right.
opportunities as everybody else? And they assured me that they did. And they gave me information that I could talk to the advocates. So they even have advocates for their autistic workers. And I was like, this is
Right.
amazing. This is amazing. So now I'm full force. I support Publix.
Right.
Whereas before I was kind of like, side eye and like are they really treating
Right.
their autistic workers good? Well, I did my
Yeah.
research and it seems like it because those are their long-term employees, and so that's why I wanted to make sure. Well, you get these guys that are autistic and they're very much about routine. They memorize your whole store and everything in it real quick,
Right.
and then they're very polite because they're kind of like they're on like a script themselves where they're like, hey, how are
Yeah.
you, may I help you out. So they're the best employee you could ever have. So I thought about it a lot, and I'm like, it's too good for Publix almost because if nobody's making sure they get the same raises as someone else with a normal mind, like they're taking advantage. So I checked
Exactly.
on it, and it does seem to me like they are making sure they don't take advantage of that. And I love
Right.
it. I love it. Now I'm more apt to support them because that could be where my son works someday. And he does. He memorizes every aisle.
Oh,
He
he
can tell
does.
where everything is. He's 8 years old.
Wow. Wow.
It's just amazing.
Wow.
This child, it's a tangent, but he's amazing. People to speak to him communicatively, he's not really on the same page as you or I. But
Hmm.
he came out of the womb basically knowing how to read. He knew how to read before any of us knew he could read. Like he was like 2 years old. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, did you just read that? Like we were freaking out. He can read at like a high school level at 8 years old. He can read and write. He was self taught. It's amazing. So I mean, their neurodiverse brain is something that we don't even understand. And for the workplace, it's going to be major, but we need to make sure they're protected. So anyway, total tangent, but that is something that I look for when I'm like spending my money.
Right.
Do these companies, have the same values that I do?
Right. Man,
It's interesting. It's an interesting world that we're living in now.
yeah,
I don't
it is.
know. A lot of
Hey,
kids are born with autism now, so it's very interesting. What's going to
right.
happen to the workplace?
Exactly. Well, I check this out. I hate to do this, but I'm about to end the live because my phone about to die.
It's all good. We got to do it again though.
If we're gonna do it again, we'll do it again tomorrow, Friday. It don't matter. We'll do this again tomorrow, Friday. You know what I'm saying? But
I'll
yeah,
get in touch with
um,
you. We'll set it up.
yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I have to go along with your time, I guess, on the next one. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and end this thing. But it's been a great discussion. I appreciate everybody tuning in. And please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate the hearts. But I'm gonna end this video and I'm out. Peace.
Peace. Thank you.